Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taiesa. If you didn't know, now you know. I am going to be doing a 20 weeks get ready with me today. Y'all know I love doing my makeup. I'm a licensed esthetician. This is the shit that I love to do no matter what. I have been trying my best to get back into doing my makeup more often just because it's something that I really love to do. Unfortunately, obviously, with baby boy in here, it's been a little hard to find the energy sometimes. But today, me and my man are just gonna have a day. We're gonna go watch the Odyssey and we're gonna go get some snacks, just have like a fun chill day because today is his day off. So I'm gonna be doing my makeup. The fun part about doing my makeup today is I'm also gonna be testing to see how waterproof it is, because I'm a really clean girlfriend and I want to shower with my man, but he is going to be cooking breakfast right now. So I'm gonna do my makeup first, and I have full confidence that my makeup skills will allow it to be waterproof and that it will last me through the shower. Now granted, I'm not gonna like throw my whole face in the shower, but y'all, it will still need to be waterproof enough. But to be honest, there are some times though that I genuinely like the way my makeup looks after I shower, because the steam in there, I feel like it really melts in all the powders that I use. I think it will be fine. It will turn out looking good and we'll be okay. I will be sitting in my bed this entire time because again, 20 weeks pregnant and it's the most comfortable that I can be right here. Just so you guys can see the first overview of the products I'm going to be using, because I'm not going to be talking about them too much. This is everything I'm going to be using, from my skincare to my actual complexion to my setting. Okay, I always start out with my skin prep, so I'm going to turn on Bob's Burgers and y'all are just going to have to watch me kind of edit through, because I don't feel like talking through my skin prep. I've talked through my skin prep 1,000 times before. I absolutely love these. I need my face to be really hydrated, so I'm gonna be using a facial lotion as well as the Rhode glazing milk. I wasn't able to use this pre-pregnancy because it would break me out, but now that my hormones have been changing and everything, this actually feels really amazing on my skin. So I do think this might be a hit or miss product for some people. This is just really fucking expensive, and I never recommend that anyone buys it unless you do go to Japan or have someone who can send it to you like I do, because this shit is like over $250 for a goddamn bottle. I'm gonna go in with the milk first just because it is a little bit lighter in texture. I like to build it up with the thinnest to thickest. Now, if you've ever used this, you might think, girl, this is pretty thick. Well, the lotion from SK2 is a bit thicker. So we're just gonna do this first, a couple drops of it, and then we're gonna go in with the toning lotion. Now, is it a necessity to do both of these at the same time? No, but like I said, I think both of them in the combination that it is gives me a really hydrated face, which I need because I use a lot of powders. Next, I'm taking the Caudalie Vino Perfect Serum, this one right here. You only need a couple drops of this. A drop here, drop here, drop here, and a drop here is about all you need. You don't need to put like the whole syringe on your face. This is just to help with dark spots on your face. If you have like acne scarring, pigmentation from the sun, anything like that, it really helps. I love the smell of this product too, I'm not gonna lie. It smells really, really good. And it has grapeseed oil in it, so it has all the antioxidants that your body already has and produces, so it's very natural. Now, I use 2 eye creams because my under eyes are very, very sensitive, so I like to make sure that they're very hydrated because they get dry very easily. I use the Caudalie eye cream, and then I use the Tatcha eye cream. You'll see on this one it says tester on it. This is from back when I worked at Sephora. We used to get gratis, and then we used to get other makeup products just put into a makeup bag for us that were just kind of like extras, so that way we could take them home and try out the products. And I really, really love these two, but this one I didn't have to pay for, so I really love it. I start with this Caudalie one first because it is thinner. This one is a bit thicker, and this Tatcha one is one that, I kid you not, it like takes your dark circles from under your eye and brightens them almost immediately, so that's why I love it. This one also comes with one of those metal applicators, so if you do put it in the fridge or you keep it cold, then it is really good to soothe under your eye as well. I don't use it all the time. I mostly just put it on my fingers and then go ahead and put it on my face. It's so funny because every time I start a makeup video or do anything with skincare, I always say that I'm not going to go into tutorial mode by explaining all the products that I use, and then I always end up going into tutorial mode and explaining all the fucking products that I use. Hopefully it's some education for you that you guys can enjoy still. All Tatcha products come with a little spatula. Please use the spatulas. They definitely help you gauge how much that you need. A lot of the biggest misconceptions with Tatcha is people saying that it doesn't work, and oftentimes it's either because they're using too much product or too little product. The spatulas literally give you everything that you need for your whole face or whatever the product is intended for. This one is a lot thicker. It's more like a cream, but like I said, this brightens up your under eye very, very quickly. Next, I use the Tatcha Dewy Cream because I have dry skin, and this is one of my all-time favorite moisturizers for dry skin. Again, the spatula tells you all that you need. It really doesn't look like a lot, but I promise it goes such a long way. And since this is an expensive product, it almost helps you out that you don't need that much. So I'm honestly not a complainer with it. I use the Danessa Meyer's Blurring Balm, and I use it as a part of my priming routine. I use it with my skincare because I feel like after it sits a little bit with my skincare, it works a lot better. This is the Universal Radiant because, again, I have dry skin. Even though I may get a little bit oily on my nose, I feel like this one just works better for me. It doesn't dry me out too much, and it really does blur very well. I only put this in the places that I crease a lot and I get oily, so I stick with it around my nose and a little bit on my cheeks. Now we're gonna go into complexion. My skin is looking pretty good recently. I don't have any major pimples or major redness. I do have a little bit of redness here on my cheeks, but I honestly don't mind that because if it happens to peek through, which it usually doesn't, that's where I put my blush anyway, so I don't really mind using the color placement of it. So the foundation I'm using is the One Size Turn Up the Base foundation. I've started to really love this product. It is so amazing. However, they are reformulating it because a lot of makeup brands are reformulating their foundations because of a particular ingredient in it. However, this is a very full coverage foundation, so if you can get it before they reformulate it or before they take it off the market, it will be great. I mean, I'm sure it will be great after it gets reformulated. I'm hoping so. But like I said, this foundation a little bit goes a long way, so you don't really need too much. So if you go and buy it beforehand, you'll have the for sure good one beforehand. Oh hey. I just use a powder puff to go and kind of tap everything in to make sure that there's no streaks from the brushes, and it also pushes it into the skin just a little bit more. Next, I go in with the House Labs concealer under my eyes and around my nose. This is just because it is closer to my skin tone, so we're going to use it to kind of neutralize everything before I go in with a brighter concealer later to brighten up the under eye. You're gonna see that it looks very, very natural, and you can keep it with a shade like this, but I like to brighten up the under eye and certain highlight points of my face, so we're gonna go and do that later. What's so funny is literally within like my 5th to like 6th week, I went to go see my mom at her house, and I had no makeup on, and I thought that I was looking so rough. And when I got in to see her, she was like, "Do you have makeup on right now?" And I thought it was because she thought like I literally looked like I had days left over worth of makeup still on my face. And I was like, no. I was like, "Why do I look really rough right now?" And she was like, "No, like you just look really glowy. You look really like good. Your skin looks really great." And she was like, "I think you're having a boy." And this was before she was ever like the gender keeper and actually knew the gender. So there were a lot of signs early on that baby boy was brewing in here. Now we're gonna go in with a bronze. I am going to be using the Curve Case by Made by Mitchell. I've started using this and I really, really love it. I'm gonna use this shade right here for my bronzer. I love a really bronzed face, so I think this color honestly is perfect. This is my 2nd time using it, but I really loved it the first time and how it had my makeup turning out. So we're gonna continue to use it and build this up. We just did our 20-week anatomy scan for our baby, and it honestly was so cute to see him in there. He was moving around a lot. He honestly was getting us all the pictures that we needed, and then he got a little shy and he turned so that he was facing my spine. Luckily, they gave me some apple juice and he flipped right back over for literally like less than 2 seconds for them to get the last 2 pictures that we needed. If not, we were gonna need to go back. And it was like perfect timing, but we got some of the cutest pictures of him. He was doing some funny things in there. Our ultrasound tech, she had a couple first with the type of shit that he was doing in the womb, which was really funny. There was like a point where he put like his feet together, he spread his legs apart, and she was like, oh, you could definitely tell it's a boy. And we just have some of like the best pictures, and it was honestly like my favorite ultrasound scan that we've gotten so far. I'm hoping that this is about the point in my pregnancy that I can start having a little bit more fun. I love feeling him right now, which I was really scared about at first, but honestly it's been really cool to feel him moving around in there so far. He's super active, very very active. Even seeing it on the scan, she was like, oh yeah, you got a real active baby. And she was like, he's definitely really strong, because there's at a point where he kicked and you can definitely feel it. Okay, now that I did the bronze, I'm gonna go in with a blush from the Curve Case as well. I'm gonna mix these two right here. It looks really natural and I absolutely love it, so I'm gonna use these two as my cream blushes, and then we'll go in with some concealer and brighten up the under eye. The thing that I really have been loving about the Curve Case is that it all blends together really well, and if you are someone who loves a glowy face, it's like perfect for that. But as someone who mattes down their face, I honestly just love the way it looks after putting all my products on. I know it looks like we're going a little overboard with the blush, but like I said, I use a lot of powders, so this ends up blending out way differently than it looks right now. We're looking real clownish right now, but we just need to keep continuing to trust the process. As always, I tell y'all to trust the process. Just trust the process. I promise it will look real good. Now that we have the blush on, we're going to be going in with the Natasha Denona concealer. This is a brighter shade for me, so I'm going to use this in all my little highlight points, and I'm not going to blend it out completely because I'm going to let it dry down a little bit, and then we're going to go in and blend it out more. I'm using this to highlight the bridge of my nose as well. I didn't really go too crazy with the cream contour on the nose because I feel like with the powders, that's where it really brings the nose together. So we'll get into the nose contour when we get to the powders and the bronzers. Now I'm just gonna take a powder puff and blend out all the places that are not under my eyes, basically. What'd you eat?
Rice, cream wheat, 2 pieces of toast.
Oh well. Now I'm just gonna use the same powder puff and I'm just gonna blend out under my eyes. And then I go back in with the blush brush and just kind of keep tapping back and forth just to kind of get an even blend. I basically try and keep the brightness mainly under the eye, exactly where we placed it. This concealer always looks so good. Okay, this is what the face is looking right now with all our creams and everything on. Now we're gonna go in and set the face before we go into our powdered bronzers and everything. Setting powder I'm going to use today. Sometimes I like to use the Danessa Myricks, but we're just going to be using the one size powders today. I'm going to do a light set all over the face, and then we'll bake a little bit later. When you press set your under eye, make sure that everything is blended and pushed in to all the creases and looking as seamless as possible, because once you put the powder on, it locks it down. I never get tired of the powder step. The powder step is like literally my favorite step because I feel like that's when everything starts coming together. I avoid where my blush is because I go in with the one size pink powder to set my blush. Is my makeup looking crazy so far?
It looks really good.
Thank you.
But it helps when you're beautiful and you don't need makeup, so that's probably why.
My love brought me pizza rolls, so I have a little snack. These have also been such a fucking lifesaver. Now that the whole face is set enough, before we go in with baking, we're gonna do our bronze because I feel like that's really important to you. Do your bronze and blush before you go in and bake. I'm gonna use the YSL bronzer on my forehead and a little bit on my cheeks, and then I'm gonna go in with a slightly lighter Fenty bronzer on my nose and the like balls of my cheeks, basically. This bronzer is very buttery. I do have a Curve Case that is powders. I just haven't used it yet because I do really love the bronzers that I have. I've been meaning to use it for a blush, but honestly today I don't think I'm gonna try it out for a blush. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just save that for another day. But I just go very light with this because like I said, it is pretty pigmented, but I love a bronze face, like I've mentioned a billion times over, because I think it just looks so good, especially in the summertime. Having really bronze skin I think just looks really nice and fresh. I'm using a very light hand to kind of just flick this up to blend it. I feel like the heavier handed you are, the crazier it starts to look. Honestly, I'm kind of liking the YSL is looking on the cheek, so I'm not gonna go too much crazier with any of the Fenty bronzer. We're just gonna use the Fenty bronzer for our nose contour. I'm gonna use, what brush do I want to use? I'm gonna use a fluffy brush like this. Less is more, and then you could start building it up. That's what I do, at least. Next step, we're gonna go in with some blush. I use this blush. It's one of my tried and trues. It's Happy by Rare Beauty. These ones are the matte bouncy blushes. They're like a cream to powder formula almost. They feel so different than any other blush I've ever used, but they look so good. Like I always say, I'm not a huge fan of Rare Beauty, but this is one product that I will buy over and over and over again. I love the formula of it. I just try and keep this on like the balls of my cheeks. I try not to push it too far back anymore because the cream blush that we put on earlier kind of does the trick with that. So this, we just take a light hand and build it up on the cheek. Now it's time to go in with the setting powders and bake. I absolutely love this part. Honestly, I use a little bit of the translucent powder just under my eye. The rest is the pink powder, translucent all over my face. I'm not going to show the process of me putting it on just because I am not really going to talk through it, but I will come back and show you how it looks, and it's going to look real clownish, real crazy, but trust, it completes the entire look. Okay, now this is the bake. I let it sit for a little while and then I wipe it right off. So I will be back after I wipe it off. Y'all don't need to see me sitting here with this on my face like this. Then we're gonna continue to let the nose bake sit. That way it sets in the contour really well. And then we're gonna take some of the MAC pressed powder. This is actually the Studio Fix powder foundation. I'm gonna use it like a pressed powder though. So I just put a little bit of this on a brush, and I only tap it into the skin. And this is just to kind of blend everything in together a little bit more with a light hand. Like blended, blurred, looking real good. Now while we let this sit a little bit more, we're gonna do some simple eyeshadow. I'm not gonna do this on camera just because I don't really feel like doing a whole entire breakdown of it. Okay, so I wiped off the nose contour. I did a little bit of something on the eyes. I know I look really powdery right now, but that's okay because we're gonna go in with the Morphe setting spray. This is gonna melt everything in. We just drench the face with this, and then we go in with our shit to really lock it in. Before I do that though, I did remember that I needed to do my eyebrows, so I'm gonna go clean those off and fix them up a little bit, and then we'll be back to set the whole face. Eyebrows are done. Now it's time to set. Face is drenched, and that's really gonna help melt all the powders in. I do hate the way setting spray feels on my neck though, so we're wiping that down. We're gonna use the Danessa Myricks liquid blurring balm. This is another like wet spray, but it mattes down your face and it makes sure that nothing budges. I absolutely love this spray. It's become a tried and true, but you want to make sure that you shake it up really good. I really like this one because when it mattes down your face, it doesn't feel like it's like sucking the life out of your face. And like I said, it's a wet spray, so it still melts in all your powders very well. Final spray is going to be with the One Size spray. Now I have really sensitive eyes and this has alcohol in it, so I do have to cover my eyes with the sponges and make sure I keep my eyes closed for a little while. So if you have sensitive eyes, this might not be the one for you, but I thug it out. I figure out a way to make it work without making my eyes leaky as fuck. So this is what we're gonna spray on next. Now everything is locked in place. I'm gonna do my lip combo and my lashes after we shower, so I will be back with the update and full face. And like I said, we're gonna see how waterproof this is after everything is completely set. I am not doing my hair, and I'm gonna put on another bandana later, so I'm making sure that I cover my head completely, but the face will get melted in, hopefully. That's the goal. Okay, y'all, this is the final look. Everything looks really great, really amazing. The shower did exactly what I thought it was gonna do and just kind of melted everything in. Like I said, I was gonna throw on another headscarf because Mama ain't feeling doing her hair today, so we're not doing that. But this is the look. Lashes done, eyebrows done, lips done. All I have left to say is I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I will keep y'all updated with the pregnancy, and there's not really much else to say, to be honest. So remember to be good people, be kind to animals, and don't be on no weirdo shit because we don't fuck with no weirdos. Never. And I love y'all so much. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. And I will see y'all soon. Later.
Oh, you don't like to dance? Come on, do the cha-cha.